Today we're in the refreshed 2018 Acura RLX, and we'll be taking a look at Acura's new lane keeping assistance system that they're calling the Traffic Jam Assistant. Acura was one of the first brands to bring an aggressive lane keeping assistance system to the United States. That system operated above about 40 miles an hour or so, and its goal was to try and keep your car centered in the lane on a freeway at freeway speeds. The Traffic Jam Assistant, however, has a slightly different mission in mind. This system is designed to offer steering assistance below 40 miles an hour, and we've come here to Highway 101 in Los Angeles to find some perfect traffic to engage this system. So I've now told the car that I want to go a maximum of 70 miles an hour, and then I have pressed the steering assistant button right down here on the steering wheel, and now it is offering all the assistance really required to stay in this particular lane. Now obviously this is not a full autonomous system, and Acura is still asking you to keep your hands on the steering wheel ideally. They're not telling you to take your hands off the wheel like Cadillac's Super Cruise system, but this does reduce the effort required to sit in traffic like this, and you can take your hands off the steering wheel for a short while without really worrying about the traffic around you. Overall, this low-speed follow system seems to operate just about as well as some of the other entries in the luxury segment, most notably the ones from Audi, BMW, and Volvo. As with those systems, this system is monitoring not only the lane lines around you, but also the cars in front of you, and it's looking for pedestrians should one be crossing in front of you on the freeway. Acura decided to integrate the lane keeping assistance system and the low speed follow system that they're calling the Traffic Jam Assistant into essentially one system. That's a little bit different than we see, for instance, in the first generation Volvo system, where you had to separately enable the pilot assist system from the lane keeping assistance system and all the other features that you found in your Volvo. Here it's pretty simple. Again, we just engage the radar adaptive cruise control, we hit the lane keeping assistance button just like you would in previous generation Acura products, and this will follow the lane lines here on Highway 101. I really haven't been touching the steering wheel much as we've been driving along. It does very, very well in these low speed situations. As I've been filming this, we've been going down Highway 101 for about 3 or 4 miles, and I really haven't touched the steering wheel at all. We're crawling along between, say, 10 and 15 miles an hour, and in this situation, it's providing all of the effort required to steer the vehicles, even in turns and corners right here on Highway 101. Interestingly enough, it actually seems to be better at following these lane lines than at higher speeds. So on another section of 101 where we were going 65 or perhaps even 70 miles an hour, it was providing perhaps 90% of the effort required to keep itself in the lane, but it wasn't really following the lanes perfectly. And that's because this is not an autonomous driving system. Instead, you might want to think of this more as a traffic calming kind of system, because it really takes a lot of the stress out of sitting in traffic like this. Like most lane keeping assistance systems, occasional interactions with the wheel are of course required. So occasionally it will flash a little icon up there saying steering assist required. You just wiggle the steering wheel a little bit and then it picks back up. Now, if you don't interact with the system when asked to, it will disengage the lane keeping assistance functionality. It will still keep the radar assist function going, so it will still stop and start, but it will no longer be steering you in the lanes. Acura's Traffic Jam Assist is now standard on all Acura RLX models. I wouldn't be surprised if you found this on every Acura model coming soon, but at the moment they're starting just with the RLX. Unlike some of the more autonomous driving systems out there, this system will not change lanes for you. So if you do turn on your blinker, it turns off the steering assist functionality, so that way you can actually change lanes yourself. Then when you're in the new lane, you have to position the vehicle, wait for the system to find the lane lines, and then you can actually let go again. You then have to wait for the system to find the lane lines, and then it will reactivate itself. It's worth noting that the Acura system does not give you a great deal of warning when it deactivates itself at lower speeds. So you really do have to pay attention to that instrument cluster or hold onto the steering wheel and notice when the car has stopped steering itself. Personally, I would like to see some sort of warning, particularly in the heads-up display, that tells you, hey, I've stopped steering the vehicle, now it's time for you to take over. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more about the 2018 Acura RLX, you will find a complete video of this car on our channel as well. It's based off of the rest of our time down here in Southern California with this new 2018 model. If you haven't already seen them, you'll also find videos on our channel of the recently refreshed Acura TLX and the Acura MDX Sport Hybrid. As always, be sure and hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom of your screen. Head over to facebook.com, find us over there. And if you want to support this channel, you can head over to patreon.com and find us over there as well. I'll see you next week.